Hi, I'm Carrie with Cultivating Wild Roots. Check out our video today on growing in unexpected places and check out some of the things that we are struggling with our seeds. I'm first going to walk you through a few mistakes even a seasoned gardener might make. Something I wanted to note with you guys is that seeds as they germinate can be susceptible to diseases. There is something called dampening off, and that happens when the soil is too wet and a fungal disease kind of takes over the root system. So I wanted to show you that these here, this was a tomato, it sprouted. It has the little cotyledon leaves on there. And then if you notice, down here by the root, it's brown and rotting away. So what that means is they were susceptible to dampening off. I did have my soil a little too moist, and they those few didn't make it. Now the majority of them did make it, so we don't have like a big issue. But I just wanted to let you know that even gardeners who have been doing it for a while do make mistakes and leave water a little bit too long and cause some problems in their seeds. Another issue that I want to show you is the curling on these cotyledon leaves here. This is not normal for them to do that, and so that shows that they are stressed out. Causes of these leaves to curl like this would be too much wind, overwatering, too much light or heat on them, and also disease. So when you have healthy leaves, you have these nice straight leaves that come off of here like this. So when you have leaves curl like that, it shows that the plant is stressed. Since we had the dampening off of some of our tomato starts the other day, I know that the problem is that we are having too much water. And so what I've done is I've backed off the water, obviously, and I've also added a fan blowing so that it will help dry the soil out a little bit and keep the air movement going so that there isn't an allowance for any more disease to happen. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to thin seedlings. So a lot of times when you plant in a little cell, you'll plant a bunch of seeds in one, and then you will thin out the weakest links. And so technically on like tomatoes and peppers, you can actually separate them and put them into different pots. But since I have one here that is not very strong, I'm actually going to just thin it out. If you can see here, we have this really nice strong plant up here, and then we have this kind of weaker one down here, and its leaves are curling and it's not very strong. Well, I'm just gonna come in here and I'm gonna snip it and not allow that one to grow anymore. And so then it'll leave all the nutrients for this nice big strong one, and we'll have a good healthy plant versus a weak spindly one. And like I said, I could separate it out and make a second plant, but since it was kind of weak and the leaves were curling and it just wasn't getting very good growth, I decided I was just going to cut that one off. So I tell you all that because even the best gardeners have issues sometimes. Not that I'm the best gardener. We all struggle. We all make mistakes. I made a mistake of overwatering, and you know what? That's okay. I lost a few seeds, but I planted extra on purpose just in case something like this were to happen. And also sometimes certain varieties are actually more susceptible to things like dampening off. And so if you are aware of what that issue looks like, then you can actually know what to look for. You're looking for that, and you see that, hey, these seeds are dampening off. I need to slow back my watering. So with all that being said, if you just know a few key things on what to look for, what might be happening with your seeds, then you know how to fix them. And being able to fix your problem is how you grow, how you succeed. So that's what we're doing this together. We are learning, and sometimes we make mistakes, and that's okay. We can just try again and keep learning and keep getting better. The next thing I want to talk to you about is that I think some people get held up thinking that they have to have the best equipment to start seeds, and that just isn't true. If seeds can start in the cracks of your concrete, seeds can start anywhere. So last year I saved this like 4-pack, I think from some cabbage that I bought. And while this is a great use of my resources because I'm recycling and I'm saving it again for this year, this might not be, you know, something that you have just readily on hand. Maybe you didn't save these last year. So this year, if you buy plants, make sure and save them for next year. But if you didn't do this, I just want you to know, like, it's okay if you don't have the right supplies. You don't have to go out and spend all of this money on seed trays and things like that. When I first started, I didn't have that stuff. Now, I will say they are helpful, but they just aren't necessary. So I'm gonna do a little experiment with you guys today, and we are actually going to start seeds in these recycled bags that we use for our vitamins. My family and I use Juice Plus, and these are the gummy packs that the gummy vitamins come in. And so when you open it up here, there are 4 bags of gummies. Well, I thought it might be kind of a fun idea to try planting plants in them and see if we can recycle these and put them to some good use. These bags are a great size, and they are perfect for planting a few plants in and having some seed starts and being able to recycle these bags, because when we get these, we order them and they come in the mail. And what we do is we open them and I put them into a Rubbermaid container, or like a Tupperware type thing. And so I basically just throw these in the trash. And so I thought, man, if my food could come in here, my veggies can go in here. And so it might be kind of fun to try growing some things and seeing what we can do. Okay, so I'm going to take you along with me while we cut these Juice Plus pouches and make them into little planters. So first things first, when you have seeds, you need to have a way to drain the bottom of the container. So whether you're using something that you recycled, or say you're using a cup, you need to make sure that there's holes in the bottom of whatever it is you're using as a planter. So what I'm gonna do here is the insides of these pouches have kind of like, they're kind of like an envelope, sort of. And so I'm just gonna snip the inside, so then as they sit flat, the water can drain out of there. And so I'm gonna do all 4 of these pouches the same way. So I'm just gonna cut like 3 little slits in there, just enough so that you get some drainage. So we've got the drainage holes cut on all of these, and now we'll just fill them with soil. So if you're not familiar with my soil mix that I like to use, you can check out that video, and I'll link it at the end of this video, and so you can see how to make your own. But anyway, I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna fill it with, if you guys haven't heard of Juice Plus, they are a great company. They offer basically like fruit and vegetable vitamins. They're basically like fruit and veggie gummies, or they have capsules also. They bridge that gap between the fruits and veggies that we don't maybe eat enough of in our diet. So since we've been taking these, it's been, gosh, probably 4 or 5 years maybe. Since we've been doing these, we hardly ever get sick. We, like, We take them, our kids take them, and we just find that we get that extra nutrition, and we don't get sick very often, or if we do, it's pretty mild sickness. So I'm just gonna fill these kind of somewhat to the top. I just want you guys to be encouraged that you can grow plants literally in everything. It's kind of like, it reminds me of Wall-E. In Wall-E, he finds a plant that has grown, and he puts that plant in a boot, and he has the little plant growing in a boot while he's taking care of it. I have all of these in this box, and I don't think I'll keep them in here because as I water it, the water's going to come to the bottom and it'll ruin that box, so I don't want to do that. But for now, I'm going to keep them in here just so that they're upright while I plant some seeds in them. So I've got you kind of pointed at my little seed pouches here. This soil was pre-moistened before I put it in here, just so that it allows me to work a little bit more freely. I don't have to water the top of it and wait for it to soak in. So we're gonna plant some marigolds today. These marigolds say that we can plant them 4 to 6 weeks before our last frost date. So if you're familiar with marigold seeds, they're kind of long seeds. So we're just gonna plant them in here. They only need to be planted about 1/8 of an inch deep. I'm gonna plant quite a few in here just so that I can ensure good germination, because this seed packet was a little bit old. So I have quite a few all dispersed in here. And I'm just gonna actually take a little bit of soil and just layer it on top, because it says to plant them about 1/8 of an inch below the surface, so it's not very much. So I'm just gonna put a little bit all around. If you tend to grow marigolds in your garden, put them around your tomatoes and peppers, because marigolds do really good around them. So there you have it. All of our seeds are planted in the Juice Plus pouches, and we are recycling them for use in our garden. If you are familiar with Juice Plus, or maybe you're not, and you're maybe looking to order some, I will drop a link in the description box of where you can find them, and you can order them and have them shipped to your house. So we have our Juice Plus bags, and I've kept them in this little divider thing just to help keep them upright and so they don't fall over. And then I've set them in this 10-20 tray so that when I water them and the water leaks out the drainage holes that we made, it will be caught into this tray and not leak all over my shelf. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you're encouraged that you can kind of grow seeds anywhere. They don't really care where they get planted because they all want to grow. Now, granted, there's important things like the drainage and drainage holes and things like that, and you know, a good depth for your roots to get down, but really don't overthink it. Just put them in the ground, put them in something, put them in a bag, put them in a pot, whatever you have, but start seeds just somewhere. I hope you were encouraged. I hope that it kind of will help you take the pressure off of just starting. Make sure that if you like our content to subscribe and like down below so that we can make more things like this. Again, if you're interested in Juice Plus, I'll drop a link down below where you can order some for your family. Make sure to follow us on Instagram so that you can check out how these marigolds grow and how they do in our makeshift grow bags. And we'll see you next time. Bye.